Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today with Erica, we're bringing you a great lesson about time.
You need more of it.
We need more time, right? So we're going to be teaching you how you can ask for more time.
If you're working on a project at work and you can't finish it on time, you have to ask your boss for more time.
Right. So today in our dialogue, Casey needs more time to put together a press kit.
What's a press kit?
Good question. A press kit is something the marketing department will put together. Basically, pictures, logos, information about the company. So when a newspaper or a magazine wants to write an article about them, so they have something already prepared that they could give the newspaper or magazine.
Okay.
So let's listen to our dialogue for the first time. And as always, it's going to be at a normal speed, so it might be a little bit difficult to understand.
We'll come back in 1 minute and tell you about some of the key language.
So, Casey, how are things going with the photos for the press kit?
Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. I might need to ask for an extension on that deadline.
You've had over a month to get this finalized. Why are things delayed?
Well, the thing is, we ran into a lot of problems.
I'm not looking for excuses here. I just want to get this finished on time.
I know, and I apologize for the delay. But some things were just beyond my control. I had trouble booking the photographer, and then Michael was sick for 3 weeks, so I couldn't include him in the photos. And the design team lost all the files, so I had to redo the pictures.
I'm not going to put this off any longer, Casey. I want those photos ASAP.
All right, so Casey is in trouble, I think.
Yeah, I think her boss is pretty upset.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at some of the language that we saw in this dialogue in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
First word today is deadline.
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 So, Erica, what's a deadline?
It is the last possible date to do something.
So, for example, when we were in school, our teacher would send us homework and say it was for Friday.
So the deadline was Friday.
Right? Or when you're at work, you have projects that you have to finish by a certain date. That's your deadline.
Exactly.
Okay, let's look at our next word. Extension.
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 So extension and deadline go together, right?
Exactly. If you can't reach your deadline or you can't make your deadline, you must ask for an extension.
An extension. So you ask for more time.
Yeah, an extension is moving the deadline in the future.
All right, interesting. Let's look at our next word. Ran into.
Ran into.
Ran into.
Ran into some problems.
So we ran into some problems in this dialogue. Let's listen to some more examples of run into so we can understand the meaning.
Example 1. We ran into a storm on our way home. Example 2.
If you're not careful now, you're going to run into a lot of problems later.
Example 3.
I ran into some trouble with my computer.
Okay, good example. So it's clear now, right?
Right. If you run into problems, you meet some problems.
Right. Many students say it in that way. I met some problems.
Yeah, but that's wrong.
Right. So you would say I ran into some problems.
Right. I met some problems is wrong, wrong, wrong.
Okay, don't say met some problems.
I ran into some problems.
I ran into. Okay. And our last word for language takeaway, delayed.
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 So when something is delayed, it's
Late.
late.
And the opposite is
On time.
yeah. So your flight was delayed.
Or your flight was on time.
The project was delayed.
Or your project was on time.
Clear.
All right. So now let's go back to the dialogue. Let's listen to it again.
And this time it'll be a little bit slower so you can understand some of these phrases we just talked about.
So, Casey, how are things going with the photos for the press kit?
Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. I might need to ask for an extension on that deadline.
You've had over a month to get this finalized. Why are things delayed?
Well, the thing is, we ran into a lot of problems.
I'm not looking for excuses here. I just want to get this finished on time.
I know, and I apologize for the delay. But some things were just beyond my control. I had trouble booking the photographer. And then Michael was sick for 3 weeks, so I couldn't include him in the photos. And the design team lost all the files, so I had to redo the pictures.
I'm not going to put this off any longer, Casey. I want those photos ASAP.
Okay, so there were some really useful phrases that we saw in this dialogue.
Yeah, some wonderful phrases that you can use when you want to ask for more time.
Okay, so let's look at these phrases in Fluency Builder.
Fluency builder.
All right, what's our first phrase?
I've been meaning to talk to you.
I've been meaning to.
I've been meaning to.
Okay, we have some really great examples of how you can combine I've been meaning to with different verbs.
Yep, let's listen.
Example 1.
I'm sorry I haven't called you yet. I've been meaning to, but I've been busy.
Example 2. I've been meaning to tell you, but John quit yesterday. Example 3.
I've been meaning to see that film for a while.
I've been meaning to go to that restaurant, but I haven't had time.
So you've been wanting to for a long time.
Right. I've been thinking about it. I've
Yeah.
been planning to do it.
But you just haven't done it.
I haven't done it. Maybe
Yeah.
because I haven't had time or money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good phrase.
Our next phrase is beyond my control.
Beyond my control.
It's beyond my control.
So it means that I can't control it.
You can't do anything about it.
Can't do anything about it. The weather is beyond my control.
Right. Or relate with this project because Jane was sick for 1 month. It was beyond my control.
Okay. It wasn't your fault.
No.
Okay. And our last phrase for Fluency Builder, put this off.
Put this off.
Put this off.
Put this off.
So let's listen to some more examples of put this off before we explain the meaning.
Example 1.
I've been putting off this project for a week, and it's due tomorrow.
Example 2. Can we put off our meeting till next week? I'm too busy right now. Example 3.
I've been putting off my email all day, and now I have 50 messages to respond to.
So, Marco, when you put something off, you...
Leave it for later,
Okay.
right? So maybe I have to write a report today, but I'm going to put it off till tomorrow.
So you're going to do it tomorrow.
I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, so we've seen some really great words and some really good phrases. So now let's listen to our dialogue for the last time, and then we'll come back and talk some more.
So, Casey, how are things going with the photos for the press kit?
Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. I might need to ask for an extension on that deadline.
You've had over a month to get this finalized. Why are things delayed?
Well, the thing is, We ran into a lot of problems.
I'm not looking for excuses here. I just want to get this finished on time.
I know, and I apologize for the delay, but some things were just beyond my control. I had trouble booking the photographer, and then Michael was sick for 3 weeks, so I couldn't include him in the photos. And the design team lost all the files, so I had to redo the pictures.
I'm not going to put this off any longer, Casey. I want those photos ASAP.
Well, Marco, do you think that Casey's reasons for being late are good?
I think so, because it wasn't really her fault, the whole situation with the photographer. And then one of her co-workers was sick for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's not really her fault, right?
Right, but maybe the boss thinks that she's making excuses.
Yeah, maybe she's making excuses. That's really common. Like, for example, when we were kids, you would say, oh, my dog ate my homework.
Right, but that really happened to me once.
Your dog ate your homework?
My cat ate my homework.
Your cat ate your homework?
Yeah.
And what did your teacher say?
Well, actually, I was a really good student, so my teacher believed me.
Well, my teacher wouldn't have believed me.
Really?
No, she would have called my parents, most likely.
Yeah. Well, my cat really did eat my homework, and I just left it on the table, and it chewed it all up.
That's weird. Why would your cat do that?
I don't know.
A lot of weird excuses out there.
Yeah.
I was abducted by aliens.
Uh-huh.
My mom accidentally mailed my homework to Africa.
Really?
Yeah.
This happened to you?
Creative writing.
Okay.
Creative excuses.
And now it's time to listen to a story that's full of real-life English you can use. Trust me, it's going to be helpful, practical, and interesting. So here's what happened. I was assigned an important task at work, creating a press kit for our company's new product launch. If you've never heard of a press kit, it's basically a package of photos, company info, logos, and key messages that we send to media people like journalists or bloggers. It helps them write accurate stories about our business. I had 1 full month to finish it, which sounded like plenty of time. But let me tell you, things didn't go as planned. At first, I told myself, I've been meaning to get started, but every day I put it off. That's a common problem, right? To put something off means to delay it or do it later. We all do it sometimes, even when we know we shouldn't. Soon, a week had passed, then 2 weeks. I finally began arranging the photo shoot, but I ran into unexpected problems. That's another useful phrase, ran into problems. It means I faced or encountered problems, not that I physically ran into them. I couldn't book the photographer I wanted, and then one of my coworkers who needed to be in the photos got sick. My deadline was getting closer every day, and I started to panic. A deadline is the final date by which something must be finished. Missing a deadline can be a big deal, especially in the professional world. So I decided to talk to my manager. But how do you ask your boss for more time without sounding irresponsible? That's where good English and good attitude comes in. So I walked into my manager's office, took a deep breath, and said, I've been meaning to talk to you about the press kit. That phrase, I've been meaning to, is a polite and natural way to introduce something you should have said earlier. It shows that you've been thinking about it, even if you haven't acted on it yet. My manager looked up from her screen and raised an eyebrow. I continued, I might need to ask for an extension on the deadline. That's the key sentence. Ask for an extension means to request more time to complete something. It's a very common phrase in both school and work. Now, I was nervous. No one likes to admit they're behind schedule. She replied, You've had over a month. Why are things delayed? Delayed means something is late or didn't happen on time. I explained as calmly as I could. Well, we ran into several problems. The photographer was unavailable. Then Michael got sick and couldn't be in the photos. And when we finally had everything ready, The design team accidentally deleted the entire file set. My manager frowned. "I'm not looking for excuses," she said. "I just want this done on time." I understood that completely. In business, time really matters. But sometimes, things are truly beyond your control. Another important phrase. When something is beyond my control, it means it wasn't your fault and you couldn't stop it from happening. That's exactly how I felt. Still, I apologized. I said, "I know this sounds like a lot of excuses, but some things were just out of my hands. I'm doing my best to fix it." Using polite, honest, and clear language helped me stay professional, even in a tough situation. After I explained everything, there was a short silence. My manager looked at me seriously and said, "I'm not going to put this off any longer. I need those photos ASAP." That phrase, "put this off," means to delay or postpone something. And ASAP stands for as soon as possible. It's a common business expression that means right away or very soon. I nodded and said, "Understood. I'll stay late if I have to. I just need a little more time to finalize everything." The word finalize means to finish something completely, to make all the final decisions and complete the last steps. She still didn't look happy, but she agreed. "You have 2 more days. No more delays." I thanked her and got right to work. I contacted a new photographer, rescheduled the photo shoot, and asked another coworker to step in for Michael. I didn't waste a single minute. I had learned my lesson. If something's important, don't put it off. Get started early, ask for help when needed, and always communicate clearly with your team. I also learned that if you run into problems, and you will, it's better to speak up early rather than wait until the last minute. Many people feel nervous about asking for an extension, but if you're honest, polite, and explain the situation well, people usually understand. Also, always take responsibility. Don't say "it's not my fault." Instead, say something like, "Some issues were beyond my control, but I'm doing everything I can to make it right." This shows professionalism and maturity, and it builds trust. Even in difficult moments, strong, clear English can help you stay calm and focused. Over the next 2 days, I worked harder than ever. I stayed late at the office, skipped lunch, and focused completely on finishing the press kit. I made sure all the new photos were clear and professional. I double-checked every logo and made sure the company information was updated and accurate. I didn't want any more problems. I was determined not to miss the new deadline. That word, determined, means I was fully committed and wouldn't give up. On the morning of the deadline, I printed a fresh copy of the press kit and saved everything in multiple places on my computer, on a USB drive, and in the cloud. This time, I was prepared. I walked into my manager's office and handed it to her. She flipped through the pages slowly. Then she looked up and said, "Good job. It looks great." I smiled with relief. That was one of the most stressful projects I'd ever handled, but I learned so much. I learned how to handle pressure, how to talk professionally when asking for more time, and how important it is to be responsible, even when things go wrong. In English-speaking workplaces, it's very important to communicate clearly. If you need help, ask. If you're late, apologize sincerely. Use phrases like, "I apologize for the delay," or "I take full responsibility," to show respect and maturity. And don't forget to say thank you when someone gives you more time or support. Being polite and professional is just as important as doing good work. I also realized that delaying something, putting it off, can create bigger problems later. So now, when I hear myself say, "I've been meaning to do that," I stop and ask myself, why not now? Because in the workplace, time matters, and good communication matters even more. Looking back, that press kit project turned out to be more than just a work assignment. It was a personal lesson in responsibility, time management, and professional English. I had started off thinking I had plenty of time, and like many people, I kept putting it off. That's the danger of procrastination. But when things started to fall apart, when we ran into problems, I realized that reacting too late only made the situation worse. I also learned that good communication can really make a difference. Instead of making excuses, I focused on using clear, polite, and responsible language. Phrases like, "I've been meaning to talk to you. I'd like to ask for an extension, and this was beyond my control," helped me explain my situation in a calm, professional way. In English-speaking workplaces, people appreciate honesty and directness, but they also expect respect and accountability. And when I said, "I'll fix it," I meant it and followed through. In the end, not only did I finish the press kit, but I also gained something more valuable: the confidence to face difficult tasks and the English tools to handle them. Now, whether I'm dealing with deadlines, making a request, or solving problems, I know how to express myself clearly and professionally. And that's a skill that will help me in every job, every project, and every conversation in the future.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Group of photos, documents, articles, and information about a company given to reporters, newspapers, magazines, etc.
Press kit.
Intend. Plan to do something.
I've been meaning to.
Make a deadline longer. Extra time to do something.
Extension.
The date when something must be finished. Finish. Decide all the details.
Finalize.
Late.
Delay.
Meet or encounter.
Run into.
Not able to control something.
Beyond someone's control.
Plan to do something later.
Put something off.
Let's try that faster. Meet or encounter.
Run into.
Not able to control something.
Beyond someone's control.
Meet or encounter.
Run into.
Finish. Decide all the details.
Finalize.
Not able to control something.
Beyond someone's control.
Meet or encounter.
Run into.
Not able to control something.
Beyond someone's control.
Plan to do something later.
Put something off.
Meet or encounter.
Run into.
The date when something must be finished. Make a deadline longer. Extra time to do something.
Extension.
Plan to do something later.
Put something off.
Make a deadline longer. Extra time to do something.
Extension.
Group of photos, documents, articles, and information about a company given to reporters, newspapers, magazines, etc.
Press kit.
Not able to control something.
Beyond someone's control.
Make a deadline longer. Extra time to do something.
Extension.
Late.
Delay.
Plan to do something later.
Put something off.
The date when something must be finished. Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Press kit. Our company press kit includes a CD with the list of our products. I've been meaning to. I'm sorry I haven't called you yet. I've been meaning to, but I've been busy. Extension. This project is due on Thursday, but I'll ask for an extension and finish it on Monday. Beyond my control. There is nothing I can do about this weather. It's beyond my control. Put something off. You always put things off till the last minute. I've been meaning to. I'm sorry I haven't called you yet. I've been meaning to, but I've been busy. Extension. This project is due on Thursday, but I'll ask for an extension and finish it on Monday. Put something off. You always put things off till the last minute.
Now listen to another useful story. Listen to the whole story. It's packed with real-life English that you'll want to use again and again. Last month at work, I was given a very important project. I was responsible for creating a brand new press kit for our company, something professional and polished that we could send to reporters, magazines, and websites. If you don't know, a press kit is a package of materials like photos, logos, company facts, and background information. It helps the media write about a business without having to ask too many questions. I felt confident when I first got the assignment. I looked at the deadline and thought, I have more than enough time. That word, deadline, is very important in business English. It means the last possible day you can finish a task. Miss it, and you're in trouble. At first, things moved slowly, but surely. I scheduled meetings, gathered ideas, and even contacted a photographer to take some professional photos of our team. But soon, little problems started popping up. The photographer had to cancel. Twice. Then one of our main team members, Michael, got sick. Really sick. And since he was supposed to be in the photos, I couldn't move forward without him. Every day I thought, I'll fix this tomorrow. That's one of those tricky habits. Putting things off. In English, when you put something off, you delay it or postpone it. It's not always bad. Sometimes it's necessary. But sometimes you just end up running out of time. That's when I realized something. I was going to miss the deadline. I felt nervous, anxious even. I had to speak to my boss and ask for something nobody wants to ask for, an extension. That means asking for more time to finish the task. It's not easy. It can feel embarrassing, especially when you've had plenty of time but didn't expect all these problems to come up. Still, I had no choice. I had to explain myself clearly, politely, and professionally. So I started planning what I would say. Not just the facts, but how to say them. Because in English, especially at work, how you say something is just as important as what you say. The next morning, I walked into the office early. I sat at my desk, took a deep breath, and opened my email. I had written a message to my manager the night before, but I didn't send it. I wanted to speak in person. That's often better when you're asking for something serious, like a deadline extension. In English, one polite way to start a difficult conversation is by saying, I've been meaning to talk to you. This phrase shows that the topic has been on your mind for a while. It's not sudden or rushed. So, when I finally walked into my manager's office, that's exactly what I said. I've been meaning to talk to you about the press kit, I began. I could see the curiosity, or maybe concern, on my boss's face. I continued. I might need to ask for an extension on the deadline. Let's pause here for a moment, because this situation teaches an important structure in business English. When you need to request something difficult, like more time, it's best to use polite and indirect language. Saying, I might need to, or would it be possible to, is much better than saying, I can't do it on time. Softening your language helps keep the conversation professional and respectful. My manager looked surprised. You've had over a month to finish this. Why is it delayed? That word, delayed, means something didn't happen on time. In this case, it referred to the press kit not being ready by the due date. Now came the hard part, explaining everything without sounding like I was making excuses. In English-speaking work culture, people respect honesty, but they don't like it when you try to shift blame or avoid responsibility. So I explained carefully. The thing is, we ran into a lot of problems. That phrase, ran into, is very useful. It means you encountered or met problems unexpectedly. For example, I ran into traffic this morning, or we ran into technical issues during the meeting. It sounds much more natural than saying, I met problems, which is not correct in English. I listed the issues one by one. The photographer canceled, then Michael was sick for 3 weeks, and after that, the design team accidentally lost the photo files. I had to start over. I added, I understand this is frustrating. I take responsibility for my part in the delay. But some of these things were beyond my control. That phrase, beyond my control, is powerful. It shows that even though I was managing the project, certain problems happened that I couldn't prevent or fix immediately. Weather, illness, system errors, all of those are examples of things beyond our control. My boss stayed quiet for a moment.
I knew it was a lot to take in.
But I also knew I had done the right thing by being honest and clear. Then came the moment of truth. Would I be granted an extension? Or would I be told to finish the project immediately, no matter what? Whatever happened next, I had learned an important lesson: how to ask for more time in a respectful, responsible way, using real, useful English. My boss looked at me with a serious expression. I could tell she was not thrilled about the delay, and honestly, I couldn't blame her. In many professional environments, especially English-speaking workplaces, time management is extremely important. Deadlines are seen as promises. And when you break a promise, people want to know why. She finally spoke. I'm not looking for excuses, she said. I just want to get this finished on time. That phrase hit me. Not looking for excuses. It's something managers often say when they feel a task could have been handled better. It doesn't mean they don't understand your situation. It just means they want results, not reasons. In English, this kind of direct language is common in business. It might sound a little cold, but it's usually not personal. I nodded and answered calmly. I understand. And I apologize for the delay. I take full responsibility for how things turned out. But some things were truly beyond my control. That phrase again, beyond my control, it's useful, but you have to be careful with it. You shouldn't use it as a way to avoid accountability. Instead, use it to explain that you tried your best, but some events were simply unpredictable. I gave more details. Michael's illness was unexpected, and I didn't want to leave him out of the press kit photos. Then the photographer became unavailable, and when the design team lost the files, I had to redo everything from scratch. From scratch, that's another great English phrase. It means starting over completely from the beginning. For example, we had to rewrite the report from scratch, or I lost my recipe and had to make the dish from scratch. It often carries a sense of frustration, but also effort and hard work. I continued. I'm not trying to shift the blame. I know some things could have been done faster, but I've been working hard to fix every issue. That's why I'm asking. Just a short extension would allow me to deliver the quality we expect. As I spoke, I remembered another expression we often use in English. It's better to be honest than perfect. Sometimes we try too hard to appear flawless, but real respect comes from clear communication and taking ownership when things go wrong. After a pause, my boss sighed and said, "Fine, I'll give you 3 more days. But I want that press kit finalized and ready to go by then." Now, here's another key vocabulary word, finalized. In business English, to finalize something means to complete every detail so that no more changes are needed. You might finalize a report, a contract, a design, or, like me, a press kit. I thanked her sincerely and promised to complete everything on time. And in that moment, I felt 2 things. First, relief, because I got the extension I needed. But second, pressure, because now I absolutely had to deliver. As I walked back to my desk, I realized how powerful words can be, especially when you're under stress. If you use the right expressions, show responsibility, and stay calm, you can turn a difficult situation into a moment of trust and progress. Back at my desk, I felt the weight of the 3-day extension. It wasn't much time, but it was enough if I stayed focused. No more delays. No more distractions. I needed to put the press kit together and finalize every part of it. Let's take a moment to talk about that word again, finalize. It's used a lot in formal English to describe the last step of a task. In conversation, someone might say, "I just need to finalize the design," or "We haven't finalized the guest list yet." It means everything must be checked, approved, and ready for use. I started by calling the photographer again. This time, he was available, thank goodness. We arranged a quick photo session for the next morning. I also reached out to Michael, who was finally back at work and ready to help. He agreed to be in the photos, no problem. Next, I contacted the design team. I needed them to work with me closely and avoid any more errors. We used a shared folder to save every new file immediately. No more lost documents. No more repeating steps. I even backed everything up on a USB drive just in case. There's a great English expression for situations like this. Better safe than sorry. It means it's smarter to be careful now than to deal with a problem later. It's a common phrase used both at work and in daily life. For example, "I brought an umbrella. It's not raining, but better safe than sorry." I was moving fast, but I didn't want to rush through the work. That's a mistake people often make when they're behind schedule. They panic and cut corners. But in English-speaking workplaces, quality matters just as much as speed. If you turn in something sloppy, people remember. So I told myself, stay calm, stay clear, stay committed. By the end of the day, I had a detailed plan. Photos would be taken in the morning, edited by noon, and inserted into the press kit by evening. The layout would be reviewed and corrected the next day, and I'd send the final version by the end of the 3rd day. I knew I couldn't afford to put this off. That phrase is so important. Put something off means to delay it until later. And in my case, later wasn't an option anymore. I had already delayed enough. Sometimes, when you're under pressure, you realize just how much time you waste by putting things off. We often say things like, "I'll do it tomorrow," or "I'll start next week." But real progress comes when you take action, not when you wait for the perfect moment. So that night, I stayed a little longer at the office. I organized files, double-checked lists, and prepared everything for the next day. And for the first time in a while, I felt in control. I was tired, sure, but I was also motivated. Because I knew this. When you fall behind, you have 2 choices: complain about the problems or take charge and fix them. And I had already made my choice. The next morning started early, earlier than usual. I was at the office before sunrise, coffee in hand, checklist open, and determined to finish what I started. The photographer arrived on time, and thankfully, so did Michael. The photo session went smoothly. We kept it short, professional, and focused. I even cracked a few jokes to help everyone relax and smile naturally for the camera. That's a tip worth remembering. In business photography, a relaxed team looks more trustworthy and relatable. By mid-morning, I had the raw photos saved and backed up in 3 places. That's another thing I learned. Never rely on just one copy of important files. In English, we often say, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket." It's a common proverb that means you shouldn't depend on only one plan, tool, or solution. Always have a backup. Next came the editing. I worked closely with the design team, making sure the photos looked sharp, clean, and professional. I reviewed every page of the press kit, the company summary, leadership bios, contact info, and brand guidelines. Everything had to be perfect. This wasn't just about fixing a delay. This was my reputation on the line. That's something every English learner should understand. Your work speaks for you. Especially in professional settings, people judge your reliability, attention to detail, and even your communication skills based on the work you produce. If you submit something sloppy, people assume you're careless. But if you deliver high-quality work, even if it's late, they remember your effort. As we polished the final layout, I noticed one of the headlines was missing a key word. I fixed it immediately. Another phrase didn't sound quite right. Too stiff. Too formal. I rewrote it using natural, confident business English. That's another skill worth practicing, knowing how to write clearly and persuasively. For example, instead of saying, "We aim to develop improved solutions," I changed it to, "We create smarter solutions that help our clients grow." Same message, but much stronger impact. By the time I left the office that day, the press kit was nearly done. I just needed one last round of proofreading. I asked a colleague to give it a fresh look. That's something smart professionals do, get a second pair of eyes. In English, we say, "I need a second opinion," or "Can you take a look at this?" It helps you catch small mistakes and improve clarity. That night, I slept well for the first time in days. Not because the job was easy, it wasn't, but because I knew I had handled the situation with responsibility, clarity, and persistence. And I kept thinking about one phrase I had read in a leadership book. Good professionals meet deadlines. Great professionals communicate clearly when they can't. That phrase stuck with me, because sometimes success isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest, adaptable, and ready to take ownership when things go wrong. On the final morning of the extension, I woke up early, made myself a strong cup of coffee, and reviewed the checklist one last time. Everything was in place. Photos edited and cropped, company profile double-checked, brand colors and fonts matched, and all contact details verified. I had asked 3 different people to review it for errors, and they all gave the thumbs up. I was ready. Now, there's a simple but powerful phrase in English, to tie up loose ends. It means to finish the last small tasks of a bigger project, the final touches that make everything complete. That morning was all about tying up loose ends. I formatted the document for both print and digital versions, added clickable links to the online file, and made sure the file names were clean and professional. No final_REL version 2. Docs nonsense. That might sound funny, but it's a real issue. In many offices, people get lazy with file names, and it causes confusion later. In professional English, we use terms like final version, approved copy, or client-ready draft to describe files that are ready to go. These small details, clean formatting, logical file names, organized folders, say a lot about your work ethic. I emailed the final press kit to my manager by noon with a short but clear message. Subject: Final press kit, complete and delivered. Hi, Sarah. Attached is the final version of the press kit. All images, brand materials, and company info have been carefully reviewed and finalized. Please let me know if you'd like any adjustments. Thanks again for your patience. Best regards. That's a useful format for professional emails. Keep it simple, polite, and confident. In English speaking work culture, long, emotional explanations aren't necessary. Clear communication is more appreciated. Just a few minutes later, I received her reply. Thanks for your work on this. I'm reviewing it now, but it looks great so far. Good recovery. That phrase, good recovery, meant a lot to me. It told me she recognized the effort I had made to fix the situation and deliver on my promise. And honestly, it felt better than hearing, good job. Because I hadn't just done a good job. I had turned a delay into a success. I took a short break after that, a walk outside, just to clear my head. And while I walked, I thought about everything this experience had taught me. It wasn't just about deadlines, emails, or file formatting. It was about trust, communication, and professionalism. And it was also about the language I had used, how the right phrases helped me explain problems, ask for more time, and rebuild confidence. English isn't just about grammar and vocabulary. It's about connection, clarity, and showing others who you are, even in stressful situations. And for me, this press kit project became a lesson I'd never forget. Later that week, our press kit was sent out to several media contacts. A few days after that, our company was featured in a well-known online business magazine, complete with our logo, team photos, and the exact messaging I had written. It felt amazing to see all that effort pay off. But something even more meaningful happened. At the end of the week, my manager called me into her office. I wasn't sure what to expect. Maybe feedback, maybe a new project. But she simply said, "I appreciate how you handled everything. You stayed calm, took responsibility, and turned it around. That's leadership." Leadership. I wasn't expecting that word. After all, I was just trying to meet a deadline. But it made me realize something important. How we respond to challenges can sometimes matter more than the challenge itself. That's something I want every English learner to understand. In English-speaking workplaces, people notice not just the mistakes you make, but how you handle them. Do you communicate clearly? Do you show accountability? Do you look for solutions instead of blaming others? Phrases like, "I take full responsibility," or "this was beyond my control, but here's what I'm doing to fix it," are powerful. They show maturity and professionalism. And when spoken sincerely, they can turn tension into trust. After that meeting, I started paying more attention to the language people use at work, how they handle delays, problems, and pressure. Some people panic. Others stay quiet. But the most effective professionals? They speak up, stay clear, and focus on solutions. Here are some real-life phrases I heard in meetings. "Let me walk you through what happened." This means, "I'll explain the situation clearly, step by step. Here's where we got off track, and here's how we're adjusting." A polite way to say something went wrong, and now we're fixing it. "I'll take the lead on this, and I'll keep everyone updated." A great way to show leadership without waiting for someone else to step up. You see, learning English isn't just about knowing words. It's about knowing how to use them in real situations. And one of the best places to learn is in the middle of a challenge. After the press kit success, I felt more confident, not just in my job, but in how I communicated. I started helping other team members write clearer emails, structure their presentations, and respond more professionally during meetings. And I realized something. Sometimes your biggest mistakes can become your biggest lessons if you learn how to talk about them the right way, especially in English. Looking back, that single project, just one press kit, taught me far more than I expected. Not just about marketing or deadlines, but about communication, leadership, and the true power of words. At the start, I was nervous, unsure, and overwhelmed by unexpected problems. But through it all, I discovered how important it is to speak with honesty, to choose the right expressions, and to stay calm even when things feel out of control. In English, we have so many expressions for these moments. Ask for an extension, run into problems, something was beyond my control, put something off, finalize the project, tie up loose ends. But they're more than just phrases, they're tools. Tools that help you manage work, build trust, and respond to challenges with confidence. And here's something else. When you use these expressions in real situations, they don't just help you sound fluent. They help you think more clearly. They guide your behavior. They give you the language to act like a professional, even when the pressure is high. That's why I always tell people, don't just study English for tests or grammar points. Learn the kind of English that helps you explain delays, solve problems, make a good impression, and stay calm when things go wrong. Because at the end of the day, being successful in an English-speaking environment isn't about being perfect, it's about being prepared. And language is your preparation. Since that project, I've handled other deadlines, bigger clients, tighter timelines, and yes, more unexpected problems. But I always remember what I learned during that press kit challenge. Be honest, be clear, take action, and use your words wisely. And now, whenever a new team member joins or a colleague faces a delay, I'm often the one they come to for advice. Not because I'm an expert, but because I've been there. I know what it feels like, and I know how to talk about it. So whether you're working on a school assignment, a work report, or any big task in life, remember the phrases, the mindset, and the message. You don't need perfect timing. You need thoughtful communication, responsible action, and the right language. Thank you for being a part of English Smart Podcast. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep using your English like a true professional.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Group of photos, documents, articles, and information about a company given to reporters, newspapers, magazines, etc.
Press kit.
Intend. Plan to do something.
I've been meaning to.
Make a deadline longer. Extra time to do something.
Extension.
The date when something must be finished. Finish. Decide all the details.
Finalize.
Late.
Delay.
Meet or encounter.
Run into.
Not able to control something.
Beyond someone's control.
Plan to do something later.
Put something off.
Let's try that faster. Meet or encounter.
Run into.
Not able to control something.
Beyond someone's control.
Meet or encounter.
Run into.
Finish. Decide all the details.
Finalize.
Not able to control something.
Beyond someone's control.
Meet or encounter.
Run into.
Not able to control something.
Beyond someone's control.
Plan to do something later.
Put something off.
Meet or encounter.
Run into.
The date when something must be finished. Make a deadline longer. Extra time to do something.
Extension.
Plan to do something later.
Put something off.
Make a deadline longer. Extra time to do something.
Extension.
group of photos, documents, articles, and information about a company given to reporters, newspapers, magazines, etc.
Press kit.
Not able to control something.
Beyond someone's control.
Make a deadline longer. Extra time to do something.
Extension.
Late.
Delay.
Plan to do something later.
Put something off.
The date when something must be finished. Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Press kit. Our company press kit includes a CD with the list of our products. I've been meaning to. I'm sorry I haven't called you yet. I've been meaning to, but I've been busy. Extension. This project is due on Thursday, but I'll ask for an extension and finish it on Monday. Beyond my control. There is nothing I can do about this weather. It's beyond my control. Put something off. You always put things off till the last minute. I've been meaning to. I'm sorry I haven't called you yet. I've been meaning to, but I've been busy. Extension. This project is due on Thursday, but I'll ask for an extension and finish it on Monday. Put something off. You always put things off till the last minute.